Okay, we're going to set up a FarmDaddy box, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to get your garden started. In just a few minutes, this thing's going to be set up and ready to rock. And once we do that, we're not going to touch it anymore for the season. So first of all, we take our FarmDaddy container and place it where we're going to get sun, and we're going to fill it with potting mix. What we have here, we also have some plants and some fertilizer. This is your essential tools. So what we did is we just filled this box up with potting mix to the top, completely full. And now we're going to wet it in. And once we wet it in, we're going to add our fertilizer and our plants, and we connect our hose and turn it on. We're done. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how easy this is. Let's go ahead and wet our soil in. I simply use a wand here. I wet the soil in thoroughly. And this can take a couple of minutes. What I want to make sure that there's no dry spots. And so we're going to soak it in really thorough. And usually I put my hands down in it and I make sure there's no dry spots in my soil. This is a one-time deal. Once we activate the soil, it's a wicking action. It wicks up through the bottom and feeds the plant. So all we're doing is initiating the wicking action. Okay. And usually this can take 3 to 5 minutes depending on your hose pressure and how dry your soil is. This is feeling pretty good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little groove right down the center of the soil. We're going to add our fertilizer into this groove. We don't spread it around. See, I'm making a little V shape with my fingers right down the middle. And I got 2 cups of fertilizer here already pre-measured. And I'm going to pour this fertilizer in this groove only. And now I'm going to cover it up. All right. So far, so good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put our weed cover on. And that's right here. I got one in my back pocket. And we have 2 colors. We have a white side and a black side. Black side's for our colder climates. White side's for our summer growing. So I'm going to grab this here. I'm going to start on the end here and pull this towards me. Voila, just like a shower cap. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife, and it's nice to start with a sharp blade or a razor knife, and I'm going to cut openings into my weed cover so I can plant my plants into the soil. And I'm going to cut 6 openings because the Swiss chard that we chose to plant, we put 6 in a box. What we want to make sure is that we're not planting over the fertilizer strip. We're planting along the edges. So let me get the other side real quick. So now we have our openings cut. Now I got some starter plants because we're kind of in a hurry. We're late in the season. We can start these from seeds or starter plants. So we chose to do starter plants for demonstrations. And I'm going to dig a little hole in my potting mix. I'm going to put the plant down in the hole and cover it up with soil. And I'm going to do this all 6 openings. So far, pretty easy, right? No tilling, no digging, no weeding. Once we set this box up, we're going to be done for the season. Got 3 more on the other side. And I don't know if you've had Swiss chard, but it's a delicious, nutritious green that they recently rated as the 2nd highest nutrient factor of all the greens. Okay, now we got all 6 of our plants in here. Set our stuff out of the way. We're going to wet it in just a little bit more. Make sure there's no air pockets. now all we're gonna do is we're gonna connect our garden hose to the end, to the box, and then we're gonna leave the hose on, and the regulator inside here will only let water into the box when the plants require it, shuts back off automatically. And now I'm gonna show you another step that's real easy, is adding another container. We simply slide our FarmDaddy in place. We're gonna add a connector hose between the two, and we're gonna connect it and leave it on, and we keep growing our garden. And we're done. I can connect 600 boxes to this one garden hose, and the box that needs it will be the only one that receives the water. So let's get started. Get your boxes, plant your garden, grow your own food. We'll see you soon.